So lately I've been on a bit of a streak where, actually I think I only did this once so far, but a week ago I did a video about my history of being, Horseheads Football Player. And as I was getting ready today, an idea came to my head, because I never really share. I don't know if I've ever actually called this a routine that I have, but I have found myself doing this as the years go on, and so I think I'll share some of what I do in terms of, game time. So good morning and happy Tuesday, everyone. But let's get to my low and having an act of kindness. My low is I really didn't get much sleep last night. Just a lot of tossing and turning. But you know what? That's okay, because it was through all that tossing and turning came up with the idea for this video. So it all works out. Which actually is kind of my high when I think about it. But also, I talked to my mom a lot yesterday. That was really great. And what was my act of kindness? Well, I held the door for some people yesterday. And I also did someone a huge favor. A favor that I may actually wind up doing tonight again. I don't know. I'll have to wait and see. But anyway, let's get to the matter at hand. It is how I prepare. Well, what is my routine? I guess for I guess I could call it a routine. Maybe I don't know. Like what do I do for game time when Horseheads is playing? Well, foremost, I need to take a look at the schedule, because for sure I plan on going to every single home game. That is without fail. The one exception, and I say one exception because it alternates every year, is if Horseheads is away at either Elmira or Corning, because both of those places are close by, and I could watch Horseheads play in Corning or Elmira. The latter, seriously, I could walk to where Elmira is from here. It's literally just down the street. Not that far. I mean, I would never actually walk all that way, because, it's, I'd say it's maybe just under a mile down the road, give or take. I know it's more than half a mile. So, yeah, I'd say, good, roughly a mile down the road from where I am. So that's convenient. Obviously, in terms of where I sit, I go to the home games, therefore sit in the home bleachers, unless I go to an away game, in which case I will sit in the away bleachers. Which, oh my gosh. So, okay. Elmira's not really a problem because, no one in my family has a, no pun intended, horse in that race. But when it comes to going to games in Corning, because usually my dad, but sometimes my mom too, will come watch the games as well. And my father especially is a Corning alumni. Specifically went to Corning West. That's how old he is. This is back in the days when you had two high schools in Corning, Corning East and Corning West. My dad went to Corning West, my mom went to Corning East. They're both Corning alumni. So my dad will insist that he sits in the bleachers at Memorial Field, which is a beautiful stadium. It is. No one's arguing that. And those bleachers are really nice, but the first year I started watching Horseheads again, when they lost in the sectional title game against UE, they first played Corning at Corning, and Horseheads would win by a field goal kick. Actually, it was the first time in a long time Horseheads ever beat Corning. That was crazy. So I go to that game, and my dad wants to see the game with me, and he goes to the bleachers like, "Where are you?" He's like, "I'm here." "Where?" I'm in the away bleachers." He's like, "What?" "Dad, I'm cheering for the away team. I have to be in these bleachers." I guess we had the mojo. Of course, 2 years later, when Horseheads played in Corning again, my dad insisted I sit with him in the Corning bleachers, and Horseheads lost. Yeah, this year I'm definitely going to be adamant about, I'm sitting in those away bleachers. I mean, again, I cheer for the away team. Therefore, I should sit in the away bleachers. It just makes sense. I mean, honestly, my dad's a Corning alum. That's the only reason why he would even bother sitting over there. I mean, to be honest, I'm surprised. To this day, I'm so surprised I convinced him that first year to sit in the away bleachers with me. That was crazy. For the home games, I definitely try. They start letting people in at 6. I get there. Listen, if you guys know me, you know I really, really, really do value promptness. I learned a long time ago that if you're early for things, you get really good stuff, including, your first pick at a seat in the bleachers maybe, or, first if you want a concession, be one of the first people waiting in line. You have options when you arrive early. So I wind up sitting in my car for like maybe 15 minutes or so, and then I'll get up and walk around and stuff. A couple times last year, I actually technically, quote unquote, tailgated. And by tailgated, I mean I got like a big bag of Chex Mix and a large bottle of Coke, and that was my tailgating. It was awesome though. In fact, it was technically through tailgating that I saw that Chucker Conroy was going to do his Let's Play of Mario and Luigi Bowser's Inside Story. So yeah, full circle moment right there. What else? In terms of outfits, I mean, I always wear at least one Horseheads Blue Raider merchandise, usually my white hoodie that you've seen me wear before with the Horseheads logo on it. Although, hold on a second. I've had this since I was 12 years old. I'm not kidding. I've had this since I was 12 years old. Still fits too. I mean, I have no reason to put it on right now, but trust me, this thing still fits, and it's great. I just got this. I did a football camp many years ago, so yeah. Still, I think, gosh, I've had this for like 23 years. I'll never, you know what, this reminds me, literally 5 years ago, I said I had this shirt for 18 years, and whenever I did, like, 18 years, she got one of your kids, got you for 18 years. I'm sorry, I had to. Okay, I'll put this away. So, yeah, in terms of other stuff that obviously I dress appropriately, like, I'll always wear jeans at the games, jeans, and if it's warm out, I'll wear just my Dockers with no socks, or if it is cold, I'll wear socks. And as the weather gets colder, I will dress more appropriately, I'll have a layer on or two. I might start out simple with just, a t-shirt and shorts underneath my longer clothes and sort of build my way up from there. Although last year I got a couple pairs of long underwear, so when it gets to like late September, early October, I'll definitely consider, wearing that. Okay, I suppose you want me to talk about it, so let's do this. This is the cowbell. In the beginning of the season last year, Horseheads was doing great. I didn't have this cowbell yet. I wouldn't get this cowbell until I went to my 15-year reunion at Trinity Pauling last year, which unfortunately coincided with when homecoming was. I mean, listen, I keep saying it's not going to be 5 years until I go back to Trinity Pauling again, but it winds up being 5 years anyway. So, no excuses, I had to go. So I wound up missing homecoming. And from what I heard, we got stopped on by a Wego. Crazy, right? So, that happens. While I was at my 15-year reunion, obviously it's a reunion. For all intents and purposes, this is Trinity Pauling's homecoming. Therefore, I went to Trinity Pauling's homecoming game. And then I got this cowbell at the game. Horseheads would wind up winning 12-7. It was a very big defensive struggle against Taft, I believe. Yeah, they beat Taft. And as soon as I got this cowbell, I knew I had to take it with me to a Horseheads game. See, a long-term goal of mine is to bring together, the people I know, well, really from all the 607, but come on, as a Horseheads alum, I really would say Horseheads more, and Trinity Pauling together. Because I love the idea of bringing people together. Good people that I know from two different, aspects of my life coming together and, meeting each other, becoming friends. Like, that's my ultimate goal is to have a big old party, and invite everybody I know. Maybe someday if I ever get rich and famous, I'll do that. There'll be a lot of people though. Anyway, so I figured, I've shared this in a video before, but another goal I have is, sending, an upcoming, high school graduate from this area to Trinity Pauling. Yes, of course, ideally it would be Horseheads, but, if they came from Elmira Heights, Notre Dame, Corning, or even further out like Watkins Glen, Odessa Montour, Ithaca, places like that, or even Waverly, I wouldn't oppose to it. As long as I would send someone from this area to Trinity Pauling. In fact, over the last several years, I would always find at least one or two athletes from Horseheads who'd be really great for going to Trinity Pauling. In fact, the first year I started watching Horseheads again, this is back when COVID was going on, so, they had to have spring games. The quarterback from Horseheads was outstanding. I believe he was one of the coach's kids. He would have been great at Trinity Pauling. But he was a senior, so no can do. Honestly, at this point, going to Trinity Pauling is a choice. Every person has their own path to walk. All I would do is merely suggest something. That's it. Although, if anyone from this area did want to go to Trinity Pauling, nobody would be more shocked, happy, nor would anyone fight for that kid more than I would. Of course, actually, a thought just occurred to me because Trinity Pauling's boys only. Actually, there's all girls schools too that Trinity Pauling is affiliated with. Ethel Walker's, which is like the oldest girls prep. It's like the oldest all-girls school in the country. Ethel Walker is, or Miss Porter's. That's a good one too. So yeah, it's not the realm of possibility that a girl could go to any school in the Founders League that's girls only or co-ed. They have co-ed schools in the Founders League, like Loomis Chaffee, Hotchkiss. Who else? Brunswick, I believe, is co-ed as well. So yeah, there's options. Boys only, Trinity Powling, of course. Avon Old Farms, Salisbury, I think. Oh, Choate and Taft are co-ed. I know Choate and Taft are co-ed. So yeah, there's options. Actually, sending anyone from the 607 to anywhere in the Founders League, that'd be awesome. I'd love to be able to help out with that. Any way I could. Of course, starting out, obviously if you want to do anything like that, you gotta start out small, send someone from Horseheads to Trinity Powling is about as small as it gets. But really anyone from this area. I shouldn't just have it be Horseheads alone. Because, there's good people everywhere in this area. If you know where to go, you know where to look. Like Corning, Elmira, there's lots of good people that be deserving to go to Trinity Powling. So, yeah, that'd be cool. I'm trying not to ring the bell because of limited apartment, and therefore it'd be loud. So I'll just simply put this back. And I have, actually, I never finished the story. After a Trinity Powling's reunion, I went to the first Horseheads game after homecoming, which was a week later, at Elmira. Yeah, it was an away game. And it was Elmira's homecoming. Hostile environment. I bring this cowbell, and we just stomp all over Elmira. And from that moment, I'm like, okay, I'm bringing the cowbell with me every time. And so that's how the tradition stuck. And because I brought the cowbell, I'm not saying, how does it say? I'm not saying correlation equals causation, but, Horseheads would wind up winning Section 4 for the first time in almost 30 years. And it happened after I brought this cowbell. And Horseheads is destined to, is due to repeat. So, we'll see. We'll see if this works. Okay, so let me put this back over here. The only other tradition I haven't talked about yet is the Blue Hammer Award, which is something from, you guessed it, Trinity Powling. Back in the day, the Blue Hammer Award was given to anyone who laid out the biggest hit. Like, this hit had to be so bad that everybody in the stands could feel it. Thankfully, Trinity Powling has moved pretty far away from that. And now, the Blue Hammer Award goes to, essentially, the MVP of the game. Win or lose. That's the key. Win, even if listen, if Horseheads ever loses, it's not going to be because of lack of effort. Someone's going to be playing better than everybody else. And someone's going to have a better game than everybody else, and therefore they should get the Blue Hammer Award. That's what happens. Now, the coach at that time, when the Blue Hammer Award was given out, he would literally go to Lowe's, get like a mallet, mallet's a hammer, and he would spray paint it blue. I actually did the same thing. I'm literally looking at the Blue Hammer right next to the camera. It's been there since November of last year when Horseheads season ended. Really. It's been there the entire time. Of course, I'll only bring it on camera. I'll show it on camera Saturday morning after Horseheads' first game, which is at Hartwick College. Yeah, sorry, but Horseheads' home opener is going to be on the 12th, which is fine. Actually, I was kind of dreading that because I was going to miss Claudia Hoyser at Laurentide Beer Company on Friday, but because Horses is at Hartwick College, and I don't know where that is, I'm going to see Claudia Hoyser, so it worked out. worked out brilliantly. And obviously for the last several years, I've been giving out Blue Hammer Awards to who I think plays the best. If, like, say the quarterback throws like 150 for 2 touchdowns, or, you got a running back that's rushing like, 100 yards on several carries or whatever, or even a defensive player that like has a timely sack. Like, ideally, the head coach should be the one giving out Blue Hammer Awards, and I keep suggesting that they do. I mean, I'm literally telling you what to do. That's all you got to do. Like, the coach should be able to do that. The coach would ideally have a better eye of who deserves the award better than someone like me. But I'll still give out the award. So yeah, there is one more tradition that I do, but I'll save that in the short coming up. I hope you like this video. If you like, subscribe to the YouTube channel, on social media. As always, I'm your homie. This video for all you guys watching Joe Video. We'll be a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful Tuesday. And remember, everything is while talking, we're here to lend you. Always back. Take care and make good choices. 607 all day, baby.